past club president, a lamplighter award recipient. On his Pathways journey, presentation mastery, today is the research and presentation project. Since September 11th, 2001, he has done a lot of research. Richard Picciotto was one of the 14 survivors of the collapse of the Twin Towers. In honor of the 18th passing of 9/11, he'll give us a brief version of Fire Chief Picciotto's story with his speech titled, Last Man Down. Please give a generous applause for distinguished Toastmaster Carmelo Belardo.
This is a 90-minute story, and I only have 7 minutes, so I'm going to speak quickly. Richard Picciotto, he was a chief in the New York City Fire Department. In 1993, his responsibility was evacuating the Twin Towers after there was a bomb that exploded in the garage, in the basement. So he knew a lot about those buildings. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, 2001, Richie's back at the World Trade Center. And he wasn't on duty that morning. He actually came to the firehouse an hour and a half early like he always did to relieve the chief that was on duty before him. That was customary. See, firefighters, it's not a job to them. It's a lifestyle. They don't mind going to work. In fact, they look forward to it. They got the call. He was in the firehouse, even though he wasn't on duty. Dispatch gave him permission to go down because he had a lot of experience with the towers. When he arrived, chaos, as you all know. Navigating through the people and the debris, these guys, their job was to go into the building as everyone was running out. Now, there was one major issue. See, there was a lot of people that were above the parts of the towers that were impacted by the airplane. And those people pretty much didn't stand a chance. And a lot of them jumped. I'm sure you've seen footage of it. If you haven't, do I recommend it? Yes. But a lot of people died. About 200 people jumped that day. And the first firefighter who was killed on 9/11, he was hit by a jump. So they had to get into the building. As they get into the building, Richie's company was tasked with getting up to the fire. It was about 80 floors up. Now, anybody know how many elevators there are in the Twin Towers, in each tower? Take a guess. 16, 12? 99. 99 elevators. None of them were functioning. How many stairwells did they have? 3. A, B, and C. And the stairways were narrow. Not too much wider than this lectern. And these guys have 100 pounds of gear on their back, and they're going up these stairs as hundreds and hundreds of people are coming down. Richie's thoughts as he was going up these stairs, racing through his mind, he was thinking about 93. The goal of these terrorists was to knock the buildings down, and they had it. And he was thinking, what's happening? Nobody really knew what was happening. He said that there were reports that people were firing missiles from other buildings to other buildings. There were reports that there were more planes on their way. Nobody really knew what was going on. When they got to the 39th floor, there was a loud noise. Just imagine the loudest noise you've ever heard. I don't know if you've been through a tornado, but I hear that's like a train, a freight train. If you stand next to a train track, a freight train goes by, it's pretty loud. This thing was way louder. And nobody knew what it was. And the whole building shook. Now, they're on the 39th floor. Everything shook. It was violent. Lasted 10 seconds, and then it stopped. Richie gets on his radio to try to figure out what happened. He knew something major just happened in the building. Nobody knew. Now, in 93, the radios that they had, they really didn't work that well. they only transmitted 10 floors up and 10 floors down. So if you're on the 39th floor, you're not getting to somebody on the ground, typically with those radios. And the bad thing in 2001 was they had the same radios. So he didn't know who was going to get this message. Eventually, they told him the South Tower had collapsed. Now, Richie had a decision to make. His company of a couple of dozen firefighters were there, rescuing people, getting people out, and they were looking to him for orders. What do we do? So Richie had a decision. The people above the fire zone, that fire was burning for about an hour at that point. Typically in fires, most people die from smoke inhalation. So he figured a lot of those people were already gone. And the other people, that's the dilemma. What would you do in that situation? Well, Richie decided to evacuate the building. He gave the order to evacuate the building. But remember, his radio only went up 10 and down 10 floors. So as they're going down these stairways, he's jumping off on floors to take a quick peek to who's there, because he doesn't know if they got the message to evacuate the building. He gets down to the 23rd floor, finds about 30 to 50 people who are handicapped, slow walkers, folks with walkers, people that they need help. And each of these people had somebody with them that wasn't going to leave them. So he had to get them out of there. Now, some of these folks were on wheelchairs, so a lot of these firefighters were just picking these people up and heading down the stairs. When they got to the 12th floor, stairway was blocked. See, when that first tower went down, it was a plume, okay? And there's a huge cavern underneath the towers that is the garage and the basement and the subway and all that. And that all filled up, but the debris mushroomed. And all the other buildings that were surrounding the Twin Towers were pretty much destroyed, including the first few floors of the Tower 1. So it was blocked. But he knew there was two other stairwells. So he went to the other stairwell. Stairwell B was blocked. Stairwell A was available. So everybody went down stairwell A. Well, when they got to the 6th floor, that noise started again. But it was louder, and it was more violent. And when those floors start pancaking, it creates a wind. And there's no place for the wind to go, clip the stairways and the elevator. So he described it as being thrown around in a hurricane or a tornado. These guys with all this gear were being tossed around. And then it stopped, and then it was pitch black, and he thought he was dead. And then he realized he wasn't dead. A couple hours later, as that big pile and cloud of dust dissipated, some light came through above him. And they got out. There's a lot more details to the story, which I don't have time to give you. They got out. There was 13 people there. Did you know that 13 people were inside that tower when it went down? This is a great story. Richard Picciotto is a hero. I'm very lucky. In 1991, I took the firefighter's test. I passed with flying colors. I never got the postcard. I never got the phone call. And I always wondered why. When those towers went down in 2001, I had my answer. Thank you very much.